Today is, what is it? Tuesday, March 15th, and it's time for the Chairs Daily Live. So we are halfway through the month of March. March is the acknowledgement of Women's History Month. And I haven't said it every day, but let's not forget that it's Women's History Month. Hey, Wayne. Um, Here's the thing. It's March 15th. Today is a day filled with excitement for some things, and I'm a little depressed about something else. It's March 15th, and what March 15th signifies as equal pay day. What that means is this is the day where white women, and I'm making that distinction not for racist reasons, but for just matter of statistics, where white women on average finally make as much money as white men did in 2021. So the amount of money that men made from January to December 31st of 2021, it has taken all the way, all of 2021, and this first, what is that, 75 days of 2022 for women to finally catch up. Uh, that is crazy talk. So women on average make about 83 cents on the dollar. 83 cents on the dollar. So it takes us about 15 months to make what men make in 12. Moms, so that's 83 cents on the dollar. Moms, women who are moms with children at home, make 75 cents on the dollar. And that's because if you're on track and you have to take time off for maternity leave, you have to take time off to raise your kids, that actually hampers your growth, your career growth. Now, that's all depressing, right? That it takes 15 months for women to make as much as a man makes in 12 months. If you are a woman of color, you're not going to see your equal pay day till sometime around August, July or August. That's how long it takes. Black women make 53 cents on the dollar. AAPI women who fare the best still only make 90 cents on the dollar from what men make. And Latina women make 46 cents on the dollar than what men make. It is high time that gender shouldn't decide how much money you make. And so I'm asking you all to call on your congressional member and ask them to pass the Paycheck Fairness Act. Ask them to pass the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. Ask them to raise the minimum wage to at least $15 an hour. And once we get there, let's have another conversation, because $15 an hour is still barely making a living. And then there's a care infrastructure that needs to be in place so that women aren't unnecessarily subjected to the gender wage gap. It is insane. Reach out to your congressperson and urge them to pass these laws. And here's the big thing. It's a big deal, and I talk about it not because I want to depress you, not because I want to introduce racism or sexism into the conversation, because I need to remind you that this is what we really face. And the only way to change this, the only way to reduce the gap and make sure that it stays forefront is by electing more Democrats. That's how we close the gender pay gap, is we elect more Democrats. And the way to elect more Democrats is to field quality candidates. And so, I'm always talking about voting, and I'm always talking about helping me find candidates. So today I'm going to combine them, right? I'm going to combine those sentiments. We have to vote and organize. We have to vote and find candidates that we can vote for. We have to vote and educate and register and protest and support and volunteer. We can't just vote. Voting is not enough. We have to vote and. So a lot of people think that there are separate lanes for people who are protesting and people who are organizing for the right to vote. They are complementary lanes, and there's nothing that says that you cannot be out on the street protesting and out on the street advocating for people to vote. We have to vote and demonstrate. We have to vote and register people, vote and educate people, vote and volunteer, because that's what it's going to take particularly in our state. That's what it's going to take to get a Democrat across the finish line is we have to vote and. So here's the part where I ask you, please help me find a candidate that you will vote for. Help me find a candidate you will vote for. Let me tell you, this isn't just talk on my part. I have been on the phone begging and pleading with Kendra Horn to run for something because I know that Kendra Horn is valued in Oklahoma, respected in Oklahoma. And today she announced that she's running for U.S. Senate. I'm doing my part, guys. I need you to help me. Help me find a candidate that you can support. Um, so we have some of those candidates, and Kendra will be on a statewide ballot. I want to do a shout out to Alan Collins. Yesterday, I asked you to help me find a candidate you would vote for. Alan Collins, who I follow on Facebook, but I don't know that we've ever met, reached out to me with a candidate that he would vote for. He heard the call and he actually picked up the phone and did something. And I just need you all to help me find a candidate that you would vote for. So, and if you're talking to a potential candidate, now we can add a little bit more action to it. Finally, the state election board has the voter packet. I mean, the candidate packet available on the state election board website. So if you're talking to somebody and they're like, well, what does it take? Well, the packets that list what the qualifications are, how much money it is, what the deadlines are, those are now available for every office on the state election board website. So you can go out there and you can find the candidate filing packets. Now they're not due and they won't take them until April 13th through April 15th. But guys, that's a month away. The clock is ticking. I need you to help me find candidates. Help me find candidates. So right now we have 2 Senate races, 5 congressional districts, and a governor that are all going to be on the same ballot. For a U.S. Senate, for Senator Langford's seat, we have Madison Horn, Jason Bollinger, Joe Glenn, all running that I am aware of, who I've had conversation with. And I'm making that distinction because I'm hoping that there are people who are thinking about it who I haven't talked to, but do call me. But I'm hoping that there are more people. But those are the people that I am aware of who are running against James Langford as Democrats. Find one of them, listen to what they're talking about, pick one and support them so they can get through the primary. For Inhofe seat, candidates who have talked to me, Kendra Horn. Get behind, I think there's another candidate. Listen to what the candidates are talking about, listen to what you know about the candidates, and support the candidate that you can believe in. That's U.S. Senate. Congress, in CD1, that is Greater Tulsa area, we have Adam Martin, who's running for Congress out of Tulsa. CD2, we have, I'm not sure about CD2. There's some talk about whether or not they still want to run in that race, but we will have a candidate in Congressional District 2, which is the entire eastern border of our state. CD3, we don't as of yet have a candidate, and that is the entire western border of our state. And if you know someone out, including the Panhandle, if you know someone out in that part of the state that you think would represent us well in Congress, please connect me with them. Congressional District 4, which is the center southern part of our state, we have Mary Brannon, who is running against Tom Cole there. And then in Congressional District 5, we have several candidates who are getting their ducks in a row, and until they announce, the party doesn't announce for them. But I know of at least 3 candidates who are running for Congress out of the Oklahoma City area. So there are tons. For governor, we have Connie Johnson and Joy Hoffmeister. So there are tons of candidates that you can get behind now. But in order to elevate those candidates, we need candidates down ballot. We need candidates for state house and state senate. We need candidates for county treasurer and DA. We need those folks. One, because they believe in our values. We need those, but we also need them to help elevate so we can be represented by a quality candidate in the state Senate and in the state House. And we can be represented by someone who will believe that they represent the entire state as a governor. So help me find a candidate that you would vote for, not just somebody who sounds good, not just somebody who you think has money, but someone who you think will be there representing you. Remember, we have to vote, and voting is not it. You got to vote and volunteer, vote and donate, vote and recruit. You got to do all of those things so that you are represented. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I will be back here tomorrow at 4:15. Have a good one.